Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the ANU Direct Application Webinar Series for 2022. We'll just give it a minute for our participants to slowly come in, and then we'll get it started right away. Welcome, everyone, and good afternoon to you all. Hello, everyone. We'll give it to probably 2 minutes past, and then we'll commence. Okay, it seems like it's probably a good time for us to get started whilst everybody else flows through. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Australian National University. Welcome to the ANU Direct Application Webinar Series for 2022. We have a very exciting session for you today. We have representatives from our ANU College of Arts and Social Sciences, Ritika, here with us, and also our ANU College of Asia and the Pacific. We also have Jay representing that ANU College as well. And before we commence, I do want to provide a welcome to country. So we do acknowledge and celebrate the first Australians on whose traditional lands we meet, and pay our respect to the elders past and present. And just for the housekeeping for this webinar series and for this session, feel free to pop any questions you have during the session in the Q&A function of Zoom. We'll be able to go through all of those questions at the end, and Ritika and Jay will be able to provide expertise and answers to all those questions. But without further ado, happy to get this all started, and we hope you find it very valuable, and any feedback towards the end. So we'll start off with a presentation from the ANU College of Arts and Social Sciences. So Ritika, if you like, if you can share the presentation for the ANU College, and we'll look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely, thanks, Will. Hi everyone, I hope you're going well. Let me just get this up. All right. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Ritika, and I work in the ANU College of Arts and Social Sciences. Today, I will be taking you through a quick overview of our degrees and going in a bit of detail about some of our most popular degrees and most popular programs. Ours is a big college. We have 15 undergraduate degrees, and we teach 29 languages along with the College of Asia and the Pacific, which I'm sure Jay will be talking about. We also have a wide range of master's degrees for our graduates to then go on and specialize in if they should choose to do so. Our disciplines rank very highly, not just in Australia, but across the globe. While 10 of our disciplines rank number 1 in Australia, 4 of our disciplines are ranked in the top 10 in the world. Humanities, arts, and social sciences are a set of diverse subjects. They touch on every aspect of daily life. In a sense, they explore what it is like to be human. It includes various fields from politics to criminology, international relations to history, and from creative arts to languages. HAS, as we like to call them together, are a set of multidisciplinary subjects, which means that they work really well with different fields, such as law, health, business, and even the sciences. With such a multidisciplinary degree, the career possibilities are truly endless. Through any of our degrees, students can gain skills such as communications, critical thinking, problem solving, teamwork, digital literacy, and an ability to understand complex issues affecting our world today and contribute to conversations relating to it. These are skills that will never go to waste, even if you decide to change your career paths midway. This can be shown by the fact that our alumni have gone on to become journalists, teachers, policy analysts, social workers, and in one particular case, the Prime Minister of Australia. The Australian National University is ideally located in Australia's capital city and is surrounded by the country's premier cultural institutions and national centres of research. For example, the National Library of Australia, the National Portrait Gallery, and the Parliament House. Our strong connections to federal government departments, industry partners, and national institutions will help you get a foot in the door as soon as you step out of the classroom. Now, here is a quick peek at all the degrees that we have, which are offered at the undergraduate level. As you can see, it is a wide range of degrees and a very comprehensive list as well. We have archaeology, we have classical studies, we have development studies, we have languages, we have visual arts. But today I'm going to talk to you about some of our most popular options. Let's begin with our most popular and flexible degree, the Bachelor of Arts degree. Now, the Bachelor of Arts degree is a 3-year full-time degree, and it is perfect for any student who is interested in the broad range of humanities and arts. And it is also perfect for those students who might not have made a choice about the major yet and who are still looking at options. The flexibility of this degree allows you to try out different courses before you decide on what major you want to do. Speaking of majors, we have more than 50 majors overall that you can do, and you could choose to do either 1, 2, or 3 majors in your single degree. An honors year is also available for most of our majors. Now, this is an example of how you would actually design your Bachelor of Arts degree. So in your degree, you would have certain courses which contribute towards your major, some towards your minor, and the rest of them are electives. Some electives are the ones that you will choose from within arts and social sciences. However, there are other electives that you can use to choose to study courses from across the university. Now, you might want to club some of these courses together and do another minor, or club those together and do another major as well. So in this way, you can really try out different courses and decide what works the best for you and what is piquing your interest the most. The Bachelor of Arts is also a fabulous option as a second degree in your flexible double degree. How the flexible double degree works is that you have one bachelor's degree and you combine it with another, and you only need to add 1 extra year of study to it. The Bachelor of Arts degree works really well, pairs really well with almost all degrees at ANU, but some of the popular combinations are with Bachelor of Law, Bachelor of Sciences, and Bachelors of Commerce. Now let's talk a little bit about our criminology degree. The Bachelor of Criminology degree is becoming a highly popular degree at ANU. The Bachelor of Criminology focuses on what crime is and why it occurs. Students will learn about contemporary criminology issues such as definitions of crime, victimization, policing, and the criminal justice system. You would also learn some topical courses and some interesting niche fields such as art crime and surveillance. Our alumni go on to work in AFP, in private security firms, and in government departments. Next up is our Bachelor of Politics, Philosophy, and Economics, or PPE degree. The PPE degree is our elite program and is usually sought after by students who are looking to get into leadership roles in the future. This degree is highly intensive and it focuses equally on all 3 parts, which is politics, philosophy, and economics. Of great interest to PPE students is a course called the Integrative Seminar. It is only available to PPE students, and it involves looking at one topic from all the 3 lenses. This topic is generally of high importance around the globe, such as refugee migration or climate change. Internships are available through the Australian National Internships Program, ANEP, or Washington Internships Program. Double degree students do not have any space left over to do electives, as most of it will be taken up by the various compulsory lectures required in the PPE degree. Now, before looking at some more courses, let's just have a quick look at some of the internships that I just mentioned. The Australian National Internships Program, or ANEP, is a semester-long research-based internship with a political focus. It is available to any students enrolled in any of the ANU degrees. You must have completed a total of 96 units, which is equivalent to 2 years full-time to apply for the ANEP. Interns usually work in a fast-paced, public policy-focused environment, and at the end have to write a research report. Internships are available at government departments, NGOs, embassies, museums, and galleries. The Washington Internship Program is a 6-week internship program in the US. Of 12 places available in the entire program, 6 are reserved for ANU students. This program enables you to develop a strong background in American politics and gives you the opportunity to experience political life in Washington, D.C. It is again a highly competitive internship. Moving on to some of our programs again. The Bachelor of Languages. The Bachelor of Languages not only looks at the structural and grammatical components of the language, but it also looks at the culture and history of the region in which the language is spoken. ANU offers more languages than any other Australian university, and students can choose between a wide range of language umbrellas, such as European languages, Asian languages, Pacific, Middle Eastern, Australian Indigenous languages, and classical languages. Students also are required to do 2 compulsory courses in linguistics, which is essentially the science of languages. If you're doing a Bachelor of Arts in a particular language, the linguistics component is not a compulsory one. Now let's move on a bit to our creative degrees and talk about the Bachelor of Music. The Bachelor of Music will enable students to choose from one of the following 5 major specializations: performance, composition, composition for film and video games, music technology, and musicology. Our degree is the only degree in Australia, only undergraduate degree in Australia to offer composition for film and video games, which is becoming a highly lucrative industry. The School of Music Recording Studio is one of the most technologically advanced studios in Australia, and it costs $1 million. It is also one of the leading studios in the world. In terms of admissions, there is an audition requirement for performance, a portfolio requirement for composition. For the other specializations, there is an essay requirement, or if you have a portfolio, you could submit that as well. Now, while there are certain pre-existing musical knowledge that are required for most of these majors, students without any prior music knowledge can take the music technology major or the composition for film and video games. Finally, let's look at the Bachelor of Visual Arts. The Bachelor of Visual Arts sees students undertake intensive studio practice. Students have the option to specialize in a range of studio disciplines such as ceramics, glass, painting, photography, print media, or sculpture. The entry for this is through portfolio submission and subsequent interview. There is no ATAR requirement for this degree. The main difference between the Bachelor of Visual Arts and the Bachelor of Design is that the Visual Arts degree focuses more on studio-related disciplines and disciplines where you would need to use your hands to create something, so more about handiwork. So think about painting, think about photography. You're really using your hands to create the art. That comes under visual arts. Whereas the Bachelor of Design is more about the digital art, visual communication, graphic design, and web design. Finally, I'd just like to let you know about an exciting event that is coming up next week, the Hassan Languages Virtual Showcase. This is a fabulous platform for prospective students to interact with our academics, our current students, and alumni through a range of webinars and Q&A sessions. You will be able to use this opportunity to ask questions directly to our course conveners, who are the best people to answer course questions. We also have some virtual campus tours of some of our buildings, such as the School of Music, School of Art and Design, Classics Museum, and a newly built Research School of Social Sciences building. We have uploaded the schedule on the website, and registrations are essential for the event. It will be held from 4th to 7th of April next week from 4 to 6 p.m. daily. Thank you for your time this afternoon, and I'll pass on to Will.
Thank you so much, Ritika, and I appreciate all the information you provided on the programs for the ANU College of Arts and Social Sciences. So we're going to jump on to Jay, who's going to commence the presentation for the ANU College of Asia and the Pacific. And just a reminder for everyone who is participating, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A function rather than the chat, and we'll be able to go through everything at the end. So without further ado, then, Jay, if you want to pop that on the full screen, and we'll be able to commence with the presentation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Will. I'd like to say thank you for coming on this afternoon and joining us. I know it can be a busy and chaotic time for you, and I really appreciate you taking this time to come and explore some of the options that we have and ask questions. I can see there's some already coming in, which is wonderful. I think the main thing to take away from this session, because there will be a lot of information, it will be difficult to take it all on board, is if you're not sure, ask the question. We're happy to help, and no question is too silly to ask, okay? So I'd like to introduce to you the ANU College of Asia and the Pacific, which is one of the world's leading centres for teaching, research and outreach on the region. Since the university was founded back in 1946, the college has really driven Australia's engagement with the understanding of Asia and the Pacific and our close neighbours. The work conducted here has really helped to establish the university as a global centre of excellence in research, in teaching, and in influence in Asia and the Pacific. Whilst that might sound just like a lot of promotional and marketing words, you could be part of that excellence, and you could be part of that change and drive engagement, policy change, world leading. The studies that you undertake at this college will help you shape the world, literally. So I'm going to go across our programs. I'm going to explain a little bit about the opportunities and features that you can undertake while studying at our college. And I'm going to save as much time for question and answers at the end, because I know a lot of students that join these have already made their decision about what to study and just have some particulars to go through. So a quick overview of the undergraduate.
Sorry, Jay, is it right if you just maximize the presentation? I think we just have the PowerPoint default view. Can you put it on presenter mode, the PowerPoint? Just that one. Yep, that's the one.
Still the same?
I think it's just loading. Otherwise, I'm happy to pop my on, just so everyone can see the full screen.
I think after 2 years of working on Zoom sessions, we'd have it down pat, but there's always these issues.
No, that's all right. If it doesn't work, I'll be happy to share the exact same slides on my screen, and hopefully it'll be the full screen from that mode. Thank you everyone for waiting. Just bear with us just for a moment. Has it changed on your side? Okay, almost there.
Almost there.
Jay, do you want to, on the top there, you see the display settings button, the second one.
Sorry,
On the top, there's a little button on the left-hand side, top left-hand side. Display settings, right next to the taskbar you had on the top left. On the right side, just a bit more to the right.
I've actually got my Zoom stuff up there, mate.
Oh, okay, no worries.
Yeah,
oh,
you can't
okay.
actually see anything that's behind it.
There's a button. That's all right. There's a button underneath that. So what we'll do.
We're off and running. Hang on.
Yep. There you go. Stop presenting the slide.
Let's try it again.
There you go. Perfect. Thank you so much, Jake. Perfect. Thank you so much.
All good. Sorry about that. We're off and running again. A little bit about the undergraduate programs that we offer within the college. It's quite easy to remember because you think of giving a high five because we have 5 undergraduate programs that are offered. Bachelor of Asian Studies will deepen the knowledge of the Asian regions, history, politics, economics, environment, languages, and cultures. You'll graduate as an expert in Asia, ready to capitalize on the career opportunities this century brings. We offer a Bachelor of International Security Studies program, and I will go into detail a little bit more about these programs in terms of the length of times and the outcomes. But just as a general overview, this degree will develop your analytical skills and knowledge of the security challenges facing our world with particular reference to Asia and the Pacific as a region. We offer the Bachelor of Asia Pacific Affairs and Global Liberal Arts. This is a unique program. It's actually where you undertake 2 degrees at 2 universities. We have a partnership with Ritsumeikan University in Japan. So you actually spend time at both universities to graduate with 2 degrees. We offer a PhD, which is a Bachelor of Philosophy. It has an inbuilt honours component. This is an extremely competitive program to get into. It has a high level of independent research within it, and it allows you to tailor your study interests into an independent-driven research outcome degree. It's very similar to, I guess, a PhD in concept, the Doctor of Philosophy, hence the association of the name. It does have a GPA requirement to be maintained. That's your grade point average. So you do actually have to keep a high level of marks. And when you graduate, you have to graduate with Honours Class 1. We also offer a Bachelor of Pacific Studies. This is a program that's similar to Asian Studies, I guess, as a degree, in that it is very regionally focused. Obviously, it is on our close neighbours of the Pacific and Islands. It does have a linguistics element as well. As my colleague Ritika mentioned, we do have a really diverse offering of languages here, which I'll cover in a couple of slides' time. So the main thing I think to take away from what you can do within our programs and our degrees is the flexibility that you have. You can really tailor the programs that we offer to come out with not only a really specialized and in-depth learning of a particular field and with that regional focus, but also you can introduce other areas of interest that you have, and you can complement the studies that are compulsory within those programs with really diverse and maybe obscure areas of interest that you have to come out with a degree that's really unique. And that puts you in a really competitive place when you graduate to go out into the workforce. You might take a major from another college and we allow you to undertake and complete that within our degrees. You obviously have though the main focus on Asia and the Pacific within our degrees, but they're very flexible in terms of electives and things like that. I won't go into too many of the specifics of the program makeup, just because it's, you know, maybe a little bit too much at this level. I'm just giving you a really high level overview, but if you do have specific questions, please pop them in the chat. Similar to some of the CAS degrees that Ritika covered, we offer the majority of ours through flexible double degrees. It's a great opportunity, again, to take a specialist area of study and complement it with something from around the university that you might also be interested in studying to come out with 2 degrees in a shortened period of time. You have a real ability to focus on unique and specialized languages within our degrees. Some of these languages are only taught at our university. You can't study them at a tertiary level at any other university in Australia or globally. We also have a lot of in-country study opportunities. I know for a lot of prospective students, they're quite concerned about the time commitments coming to university, missing out on things that their friends might be doing, like going overseas. If you're undertaking one of our degrees, you actually have the opportunity to go overseas on exchange. That can vary from 4 to 6 weeks, right through to a full year worth of exchange. We also provide support and assistance for those travel opportunities. And we're also the only Australian university that is a dedicated faculty and college on Asia and the Pacific. So you're immersed in learning here with world-class leaders specific research that isn't being conducted elsewhere. You've got access to amazing academics and tutors that actually facilitate the learning within the programs. And likewise to some of the rankings that were presented through CAS, we're pretty high up there as well with our own areas of interest and specialisation. In terms of employment opportunities, again, I know it's a concern for some people coming into university about what they can do once they actually graduate from their degree. Our programs offer a really broad breadth of opportunities. You can see I've got some listed there. Being based in Canberra and having so many national institutions right on our doorstep, a lot of our students do go into the public service. They go into government agencies, they go into business, private enterprise, consulting, journalism, non-profit organisations, go into politics, research and academia. Again, depending on whether you're doing it as a standalone degree or complementing your studies with a secondary program through a flexible double degree, you really have a broad spectrum of opportunities that come from you. So I think that's hopefully reassuring to people to think that if you're going to spend 3 or 4 years worth of study, that you will actually get a job at the end of it as well. I've mentioned the fact that we have global study opportunities. So there's lots of ways in which you can undertake these study opportunities. You can work with a partner university, of which we have universities all over the globe. Literally every continent has universities that we have partnerships with, and you can go and undertake a study period with them. Or you can come to the university with a proposed university and study plan and try and integrate that into your study as well. So again, depending on what you're undertaking as your area of study or your interest of where you might like to travel, we try and create the opportunity for you to be able to undertake that travel as well and get credit for it. We also teach a broad spectrum of language that have been previously mentioned. Some of those ones are completely unique to our university. Some of you might actually be studying these already. We do offer extension courses to high school students to undertake these, and we also offer quite a few of them as non-award languages through Open Universities Australia. So our main undergraduate programs, Bachelor of Asian Studies, it's a 3-year full-time degree. It requires a minor in languages. So we offer 16 different languages at the college, and you have to complete at least a minor within this degree as part of the requirements. So when you graduate, you're going to have a level of language competency. We also have quite a lot of levels within our languages, I guess. So if you do have background within a language and actually want to further it, you can commence the language studies at a more advanced level. That's offered across all our languages. You don't have to start from the introductory level. But equally so, if you're not familiar with the language and you just want to learn something new, we obviously have introductory level courses and can teach you from a non-speaking background or having previously had no experience with that language. So we really cater for that diverse array of expertise and previous knowledge. The Bachelor of International Security Studies, again, it's a 3-year full-time program. It can also be taken as a flexible double degree. It's probably our most popular undergraduate program that we have. It really utilizes the expertise that we have in our research schools and brings a practical hands-on learning. One of the very popular courses is simulating a war game situation and looking at current political and global situations and letting students actually plan and conceptualize how they would deal with that situation. We also get a lot of current global leaders, politicians, experts to come in and provide guest lecture series as well for students. So you're getting a lot of connection and network through the program as well. The Bachelor of Asia Pacific Affairs and Global Liberal Arts, again, that's the program in which you would be undertaking study in Japan as part of the degree and also within ANU. We do provide support and assistance for students with setting up your accommodation, The partnership with the university in Japan, with Ritsumeikan University, is very strong, and they really help facilitate and integrate students into the community in Japan. It is taught in English, although obviously being immersed in the Japanese community, you do have the opportunity to develop your Japanese language skills as well. We have the Bachelor of Philosophy. This was the inbuilt honours year, high level of independent research. You have overseas research experience integrated into the program, and you will graduate with an honours level as part of that program. It also has direct intake into a lot of postgraduate opportunities. The Bachelor of Pacific Studies, again, 3 years full-time, language and overseas integrated into the program. You'll have the opportunity to engage in internships and immerse yourself within the ocean region and really bolster your language skills and expertise in the region. We do offer, as a college, a lot of postgraduate programs as well. Our undergraduate degrees can have direct entry into these postgraduate programs if that's something that you feel as though you're interested in already, or as you're progressing through your degree and realize that you wish to further and heighten your learning in a particular area. It can bring peace of mind to know that we do offer that postgraduate subsequent to that as well. So that's all from me on the specifics. I know we kind of rushed through a little bit, and I know we had the technical glitches, so thanks for bearing with me. Leaving it now open for some question and answers, which I'm sure William will facilitate.
Thank you so much, Jay. Lovely to hear all the insightful information about all the programs with the ANU College of Asia and the Pacific, and certainly came up with a lot of information that I wasn't aware of too, and we hope everyone listening at home also found it useful. So feel free to pop your questions in the Q&A now. I think we'll start off with one of the earlier questions, which was, I would like to apply for the Bachelor of International Relations with a year in Asia. Although in the direct application, the program only have the regular Bachelor of International Relations, would I select this if I wanted to include the year in Asia program? So I sort of have an answer in terms of the preferences, but there's Jay and Ritika, if you want to add on afterwards. In the actual ANU direct application, you just need to select the main overall program or course. So Bachelor of International Relations is the one. Now, with the year in Asia, I believe that is more so an exchange opportunity. But for Jay and Ritika, is that also a separate course code as well, perhaps?
So generally, the Year in Asia program applies more towards Asian studies than the Bachelor of International Relations degree.
Cool.
So, yep, generally it goes more with the Asian studies degree. So I'm gonna ask Jay if he's got more information on that.
So I think whilst we encourage people to have an ambition as to what they might like to study across their program, we also acknowledge that once students enter into the program, they might require some assistance and massaging of their program. So the year in Asia, you can actually apply subsequent to getting into your direct entry program. So you'd be applying for international relations and then submitting an application for the year in Asia, because they need to consider what you studied, why you're looking at undertaking it, do you have the capacity within your program, and what you have left with it. But it's a subsequent application once you undertake your undergraduate degree.
Awesome, thank you. I do see here Bachelor of International Relations with a year in Asia. If you can't find that program, we would recommend putting your preferences for the regular Bachelor of International Relations, which I believe was the program. And then you'll be able to speak to the ANU college, and like Jay said, there's opportunities to get into that program with the year in Asia included.
And I think without stepping on the toes of some of the other areas that are experts in this, and I'm sure a lot of the people on this particular webinar are aware that we do have the admissions session and an admissions team that provides a lot of this expertise and knowledge. One of the things I would like to make nice and obvious is that changing your program structure and changing between programs at ANU is quite straightforward and really an opportunity for most students. If you commence a program and you decide you want to add another element or drop an element or completely switch your degree, it's a really easy process to do once you're already here in the system. So if it does turn out that something, you know, develops in terms of your areas of interest, or you choose completely the wrong degree or something like that, there are opportunities to adjust your program enrollment once you're here. Don't stress, you're not locked into it for 3 years, 4 years. You don't get one only choice.
Exactly right. Thank you so much, Jane. Okay, so we have 2 questions from Larissa. Would I send my proof for health science, as well as certificate 3? So Larissa, so I actually have a very, we have the ANU College of Science and Health and Medicine. They are due to have their webinar on the 13th of April at the same time. And I think this question would be very suitable for them to answer as well. They'll be able to tell you, I suppose, where, the rural, proof of residence when it comes to the Bachelor of Health Science will be applicable. But otherwise, you feel free to reach out to our ANU domestic admissions team. They'll be able to offer some advice as well. But the ANU College of Science and Health and Medicine webinar on the 13th of April is going to certainly help with that question. But because this is the ANU College of Arts and Social Science in Asia Pacific, the other colleges will be more equipped to answer your question for that one. And with the TAFE course that you've mentioned in the certificate 3, that's a question you can possibly also ask during that webinar, or if you want an earlier correspondence, feel free to reach out to the ANU domestic admissions team. You can find more information on our website. Next question is, does the Bachelor of European Studies still exist? And if so, what does it entail? Jay,
Yep, so the Bachelor of European Studies used to sit with the College of Arts and Social Sciences. However, unfortunately, it has been disbanded and there are no further applications for it. And unfortunately, we aren't even offering it as a major anymore. However, you can still study modern European languages with us. You can either choose them within a Bachelor of Languages degree or as extra courses in your Bachelor of Arts degree, or if you're looking to do another degree altogether, which does allow you to have a few electives, you can always choose some of the electives from the European languages. And yes, I think I'd just like to, on that point, mention something that Jay has already mentioned about the languages, which is that in the orientation week, which is your first week before the classes start, after you get enrolled, you have something called a language placement test, in which you basically, if you're studying, say, French at university level, you will give a language placement test, irrespective of what level of knowledge you have. And that test basically determines your which level you would be enrolled in at uni. And yeah, there are some beginner level courses or there are intermediate level courses. So that is the one which will actually help put you in the specific course. So don't think that if you have studied languages at a pretty good level, you just have to go back to being a beginner. So that's not how it will work.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Radhika. Feel free to pop those questions in. They're going good so far. One of the questions we have is, are you able to select more than one co-curricular service activity when filling out your application form? Yes, you can provide up to 5 co-curricular service activities as part of your application. So in the application, we are looking at 2 of the 7 skills, which you likely can see on our website. But yes, you can provide up to 5 activities to meet those attributes and skills. It's a great question there. Feel free to pop any questions. We'll leave it just for a few minutes to see if anyone else has any questions, but feel free to pop them in.
Suppose the question hasn't come up regarding scholarships, and it's quite a popular one when we have Wonderful. These webinars. And I guess just to keep it relevant to the college and the opportunities that we have, and so as to not cover some of the information that will be covered regarding the direct entry, which obviously it considers scholarships, and your applications will be assessed for scholarship opportunities as part of that direct entry. But once you're in a program, there are opportunities for you to apply for other scholarships and grants, particularly with the travel. We try and provide that support for students through things like the new Colombo plan. We provide financial support for students to go overseas for some of their opportunities and exchange. There's also acknowledgement of academic excellence and extracurricular activities. So if you're an elite sports person, or you happen to get straight high distinctions for a couple of years within your program, there's scholarships and grants that you can apply for as a current student too. So obviously you want to try and get something when you're first applying to the university, but it's really important to know that there are other opportunities once you commence your studies as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jay. That's very insightful, and a great add-on to the exchange and overseas opportunities that both of these colleges offer. And feel free, and if there's any other information from each of the respective colleges that you want to add, we do have a bit of time as well for that as well. But otherwise, I'll still give it a few minutes for any students who want to pop any question. Feel free to ask away. We have two amazing representatives who'll be able to answer your questions. Just give it a few minutes. I'm wondering, whilst we wait for some of the questions, Ritika, do you have like a list of all the languages that arts and social sciences offer, potentially?
Let me just
that's okay. But whilst
we do have one question.
Do you have a question? With the Bachelor of Criminology, can I double degree with law? So I have an answer to this, but Ritika, if you have something, feel free to jump on.
Happy to hear your answer as well, Will,
okay.
But I think it's going to be the same thing.
Yep. So let me just bring it up. So Bachelor of Criminology, yes, so you can. So students can select, as part of their preferences, a flexible double degree that involves law and criminology. It's very important to know that in your application, if you are interested in this combination, you don't need to look for this specific double degree preference in criminology and law. You simply just need to look for they call it the shell group. Look for flexible double degree law. So that's how it will come up in the preferences, and that is after you select that as part of your preference, it'll ask for you to indicate what your preferred combination will be, and that's where you can indicate Bachelor of Criminology and Bachelor of Laws. I believe the combination, that specific combination, may take it's maybe five years as a flexible double, but yes, that is certainly an option that students can undertake. Did I miss anything with that for Africa as well?
That's absolutely right, Will. Yes, the Bachelor of Criminology is again one of the popular degrees, like I mentioned, and it is something that fits quite well with a lot of different degrees as well. Law is definitely one of the popular options. And like Will mentioned, it would take you 5 years to complete in total. So the single degree of Bachelor of Criminology is a 3-year degree, but the Bachelor of Laws is a 4-year degree. So with the flexible double degrees, your total duration is +1 on top of the longest degree, which here is your Bachelor of Law. So 4 + 1 is 5. So it would take you 5 years to graduate with the double degree. But yeah, the Bachelor of Criminology is a fabulous option, and it's also a really great option to pair with other degrees such as the not to sound like I'm touting our own horn, but with Bachelor of Arts as well. And another very interesting combination that we see is with the Bachelor of Psychology. So it's very this is I think magic of the flexible double degrees offered by ANU, that you can literally pick and choose what kinds of degree you want to do and what kind of career you want out of it. And to be honest, it might be a career that doesn't even exist right now. And diverting a bit from the Bachelor of Criminology, but more about the flexible double option. Another interesting thing that I have heard about was someone doing a Bachelor of Criminology and Design, and then looking at something like art crime, which honestly, to me, I was just really surprised. I was like, wow, I wouldn't even think of having a career such as that. But yeah, it's your dream job might not even exist today.
There you go. Like you said, the beauty of flexible double degrees and occupations that you may not even think of, especially if you have like a very niche idea on what you may want to do. There's likely a combination that can get you there. Another question. So depends on the personal opinion, but does the Bachelor of Politics, Philosophy, and Economics pair well with the Bachelor of Developmental Studies? I'm assuming, yeah, as a double degree.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of answered it in the question itself. It is pretty much of personal preference. So the PPE degree is a very intense and very specialized degree. It will be a lot of hard work. It is very intensive, and students generally don't have space for other electives if you're taking up another degree along with it. So yeah, you can take up the development studies degree along with your PPE degree if that is the kind of combination that you feel really works well for you and is something that you really want to be looking into. The PPE degree has also been paired with some fabulous degrees across ANU. I think the most interesting combination that I personally know of is the PPE with a medical science degree, which I think two really intensive degrees. And yeah, it's still like you think that it's such a different type of subject, but still students who are really interested in kind of learning more about both degrees would generally do that. And another thing is that if you do start off, I think Jay has already touched on this point, that if you do start off in a particular set of degrees and later on you feel like this isn't something that you want to continue, or there is a different path that you like better, you can always change your degree later on. With a double degree, you can easily drop from 2 degrees to 1 degree. And you can also change one of your degrees as well if you want, or in some cases, both the degrees as well. The amount of credits you get will kind of depend on your personal situation and your personal record. But yes, it's pretty much what you want to make it.
Yeah, like you get out what you put in. But yes, like Bachelor of Politics, Philosophy, and Economics, and Bachelor of Developmental Studies, they're obviously two available options as a flexible double. And that means that it's obviously an available option for students to take. So it's obviously depends on the student, your own preference, but those are two fantastic degrees that you can certainly pair. So thank you for that question. We have we still have around 10 minutes left over for the webinar, so we do still have a little bit of time. If anyone also wants to use this opportunity to ask any more questions for our two respective colleges, feel free to pop them in.
I'd also like to point out that with the PPE degree, most of our, even the international relations degree, we see a lot of pairings, even with similar political type of degrees that we have. So we might see PPE with IR, or the PPE with international security studies provided by the College of Asia and the Pacific, or even with public policy at times. So again, these are quite similar as well, but still something to be more specialized in. So I think the best way, if you are really confused about what type of degree you want to pair, or what you would be studying in the degree, would be to go on the ANU Programs and Courses website and search the degrees that we have. And once you're in the degree, there is a study option on the tab. Once you click on the study option, it will list all of the courses that you would study as part of that specific degree. This is a great way to just go in and have a look at what exactly you would be studying, because for some courses it would be pretty obvious what you will study, but for some others you might really want to look into the options that you have. And yeah, this would be a great way for you to get a bit more of an understanding before you apply.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Ritika. And feel free, yes, to log on, the website, have a look at, the courses respectively and what the study, options and plans entail, and hopefully you get a good idea on, the combinations and what may work well with each other. But at the end of the day, obviously it's the student's preference, and we had to have that flexible WE as that option for that reason as well. Let's give it a few more minutes. If anyone else wants to ask any questions, even when it comes to obviously our available degrees, what it may be like, or anything with the application that you may be concerned of, feel free to pop them in. Just give it a few minutes for that one. Give it one more minute, and then we'll wrap it up. For this session, feel free to use this opportunity, everyone, to ask your final questions.
Obviously, if you did have a question that you might not have thought about until after the session, or you don't feel comfortable necessarily asking this context, or you do a little bit of research based off the information that we've given you and you get a question from that, do feel free to obviously reach out to the appropriate areas as well. It's a great opportunity to ask the questions now, but it's quite a bit to take on board in a short period of time, and you might have information racing around. So yeah, you're always welcome to reach out and contact the appropriate area to ask your question if you're unsure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Jay. So I think we'll use this opportunity to sort of wrap it up, and I'll leave any final words from Ritika and Jay from the two respective colleges as well. But thank you everyone for tuning in to our ANU direct application webinar series for 2022. I believe we have a webinar every Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. Canberra time, right up until the last week of our direct application process, which finishes officially on the 23rd of May. And we hope you got a lot of value from this particular webinar from the ANU College of Asia and Pacific and the Arts and Social Sciences ANU College. And like Jay said, feel free to reach out to the ANU colleges, our domestic admissions team, or our future students team to speak about your situation in a little bit more detail. Ritika or Jay, if you have any final words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, thanks for listening to us today. Yeah, we did give you a lot of information, and you might need some time to get through all of that before you get back with some questions, and that's completely fine. Just send us an email and we'll get back to you if you have any questions whatsoever. And yeah, like I mentioned, we have a Hassan Languages Showcase coming up next week. You can Google it, Hassan Languages Showcase 2022, and please do register for that. It's a really fabulous opportunity and a unique one for you to talk to academics, and it is not an opportunity that is available a lot of times where all of the disciplines would be represented. And yeah, we have virtual tours as well. So I hope to see you then. Thanks for your time this afternoon. I'll pass to Jay.
I'd also like to thank you for taking time to join the presentations this evening. I think my final words are just to try your best. Obviously, it's important to achieve the highest you can whilst you're undertaking your current studies. If you're looking at getting to university and you have a dream aspiration, be it post-university or dream program to study at university, rest assured there's probably more way than one to get there. And I think one of the things that both of our colleges and the ANU as a whole is really good at is providing the support to step you through the different pathways and help you to achieve that. There are different ways to get to a destination, and we're here to provide that support and advice. So try your best now, but know that getting into university is the first step, and we can help you subsequently.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much, Ritika. That wraps it up for our series, for our webinar today. So my name is William. Feel free to reach out to our ANU Future Students team or one of us as well. We hope you enjoyed it. All the best for this year, and we'll see you next time.